welcome back. I'm so glad Janice had this forum, because this is one of my favorite places in Tallahassee. I have several groups that meet here. It's just a beautiful place, and we all love it. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Diane Berryhill. I've lived in Tallahassee for over 22 years. All 5 of our children have graduated from high school here, and all have attended Florida State, some during high school. And 3 of them did graduate from Florida State. So, well, I'm actually 4 of them graduated. I forget my youngest daughter, who, by the way, let me say, this is her 24th birthday. So, happy birthday, Natalie. Yeah, we've been so busy, it's hard to keep up with the days. But I've always been very active in this community. I have an accounting background. I graduated from Christian Brothers University in Memphis. And this District 2 has always been just almost like a playground for us, you know, because we always traveled with our children and let them see the different areas that were around them and took them to the different festivals so they could experience what was happening around their city. As I said, I have an accounting background. I have worked for corporations. I have done private. I worked for the government. And I'm also on my own businesses. So I pretty well come with a resume that takes you across all the different factions that probably most of you have had, whether you own your own business or whether you work for someone else. And I've had to do the thing of meeting the payroll, and then I've had to watch my corporation struggle sometimes to make the payroll. Let's see, I'm a total conservative. If you know anything about me at all, I am so conservative that, you know, everybody, when they meet me, they automatically go, "You're a conservative," you know. And I go, "Yes, I am." You know, even though my family, we grew up as Democrats, I just can no longer go along with the Democrats once Hillary and Bill came in. My family actually lives in Arkansas, so they're friends with Hillary and Bill, but that was just a little bit too much for me. My father still to this day cannot abide the fact that I am not a Democrat. He's still trying to convince me somehow to like Obama, even though he doesn't like his programs. Right, and I'm married to Don Berryhill. A lot of you may know him. He was with me, and a lot of people know Don. We have 5 children, 5 great accomplished children. We could not have been blessed more with the family that we have. We have 4 great, you know, grandchildren that are just the joy of our lives, even though they live in other cities. And today we got a call from a 2-year-old, and it was like he was talking. He doesn't talk real plain. And I was like, "Are you calling to wish Aunt Hadley a happy birthday?" And he said, "Happy birthday." I said, "Well, hang on a second." I got her on, and then his father was calling Hadley on the same phone. So Hadley said, "Hang on." She went to the other phone. And they said, "Well, we don't know what Sebastian's been back there calling people on the automatic time." So Sebastian was having a good time. But he also works with iPhones very well at the iPad. So we have a very interesting family. I have 2 children that live out in San Diego. One is an attorney that actually does something totally different. She's a CFO for a software company. My oldest daughter lives in New Orleans with her 3 children, and she is a commercial sales representative for furniture for hospitals. And she actually travels a rather large district and works for a firm from Canada. So she loves her job, she loves what she does, and she's very much like me. She can stand up and speak and get things done. Our oldest son has a PhD in biochem, and he actually runs a crime lab in the DNA division. And then my youngest son is a Marine who is serving in Afghanistan. And I'm sure we'll get some questions about that, so I'm not going to elaborate on that. But those men and women over there now need our support, they need our prayers, and what they're fighting under right now is ridiculous. And then, of course, our youngest daughter just finished her 2nd year of law school, and she'll be going up to D.C. to do an externship this fall, and she's hoping to get with the JAG unit up there. So we were teasing her brother this morning because he was able to call us that we may have someone else that eventually ends up in the military if she likes it. I believe that our country is in trouble, as all of you do. And I'm not going to stand up here and go through all of the things. We all know the problems. We spend too much. We have people that come here for goals of entitlement, not goals of ownership. We have forgotten what our forefathers fought for, and we have let these courts take over with the rule of law rather than the original interpretation of the Constitution. And if we don't get back to what the original interpretation was, our country will be legislated from the courts. And I am tired of it. Every day I just sit and think, every time we come out to make a speech, there's like 10 new things you can talk about because of what they have done. And if we don't get people up there, and I'll go ahead and address this. One reason I switched from the Republican Party, I was running as a Republican, and I was very active in being very vocal about getting rid of Jim Greer, who was head of the Republican Party in Florida. He had run the party into the ground financially and continued to, and our leadership throughout the state, including our elected leaders in the legislature, including the executives at each county and the state committee men and women, they would not address it because they did not want to lose their position of power. Only when all of us finally said we will not give to the Republican Party or we will not give to the National Party, did they finally decide to go in and do something. But their excuse was that he had supported Charlie Crist and had gotten into the primary. Well, we've got John Thrasher here now. Okay, we've got John Thrasher there now, who is doing the same thing. He got involved in Republican rights and was pushing one candidate to get money, and he's still doing it. And he's trying to take the primary away from you people. He also donated over $2,000. The Republican parties, the head of the Republican Party here in Florida, donated over $2,000 to Alan Boyd's campaign between 2004 and 2007, donated to Alex Sink, donated to Al Lawson, and to another Democrat. And I could no longer go and defend that as my party when we have leadership like that that is trying to do the exact same thing that Jim Greer did. Now, he's not spending the money personally, I'm not saying that. But as far as the things that was finally addressed with Jim Greer, he is doing it. And we have got to be a better people. We've got to put someone up there that will put the job on the line every day and not be bought off by big business and lobbyists because they belong to a party. I will caucus with you, the people of District 2, not the Republican Party and not the Democrat Party.
All right.
They're reading the names in random order to give their bios, and Steve is yet to go, and you get to go, so Terry is going to be telling us she's from Tallahassee. Let me know if you're.
Okay.
And it is Steve.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm continually honored that people will actually take out of their evenings to come hear us talk and share our views. And I'm so encouraged as we travel around the 16 counties that people are really waking up and becoming engaged like we should have always been. So thank you for being here tonight. This is the second time I've been in this lovely home. We were here 2 weeks ago, and it's a wonderful meeting. Thank you very much. As far as my story, again, I'm Steve Sutherland. I am from Panama City. That's where my family has been for the last 5 generations. But my grandmother's side, my father's side of the family is from Jackson County, Florida. A little town called Aspen, about 10 miles north of Mariana. And my grandmother's side of the family has been there for, oh my goodness, 150 years. So we've been in Northwest Florida not as long as the Gamers have, perhaps, but a long time. It is home. It is the place that I have grown up in. It is the place that I make my living in. And it is the place that I'm always fighting and scrapping